Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of notanalog.com. Today I'm looking at a Bluetooth headset, which isn't just a Bluetooth headset, and I'll tell you why. This is the Plantronics Savor M1100. Now, while it looks like an ordinary Bluetooth headset, there's a few things I want to talk about with the design of this. First of all, there's no hook. There's no hook over the ear, it's just a little bud. And when I first looked at this, I thought it was going to fall out of my ear quite easily. However, to be completely honest, when you do put it in, it feels extremely comfortable, like it's not even there, because it only weighs 9 grams. Sorry, I got a call. Hang up on that one. It only weighs 9 grams, so it's really, really light, and it feels quite comfortable in the ear. The other good thing is if you're hard of hearing in the right ear, like most Bluetooth headsets are set up for, it can go in the left ear. Much the same, and it still works, obviously, as you would expect. Something to note around the actual thing, you've got the little micro USB charger at the back. This is a button, and it's got, you can see the microphone holes as well. At the top is the volume button. Now it is just a single button, there's no volume rocker. So when you push the button, it starts to go up in volume and you'll hear it get louder and louder. And then on one of the presses it will tell you volume maximum. If you push it again, it then goes back to 0 almost. So something to keep, which I may not have liked that much, because if you're pressing it quickly you might get to maximum, push it again, and then you're back to the beginning and it's okay, let me try and do it again. So that can be a little bit annoying that they didn't put a rocker, but I guess that's just part of the design. The ear gels, it does come with some other replacement gels, which you can see. That one's really interesting the way it's shaped, but I guess for almost any ear it should fit somewhere. And you know, the device is just really good. Battery life has been pretty good. They say it's up to 4 hours talk time and about 7 hours standby, 7 days standby, sorry. I use it, I've been using it all week and I haven't had to charge it yet, and I sort of talk to and from work, which is a bit of a drive, so it's been quite good, and the noise cancelling is amazing. I can have the window down and still carry a conversation quite well, and no one complains, which is really good. So that's really the device. Now, the good thing I wanted to mention about it, let me go through the accessories real quick. Little USB charger, and the big PowerPoint charger. Nice little bag to carry it all in, and just a whole ton of books. What I want to talk about is the other feature that it has. It's called Vocalist. Now, Vocalist, sorry, I'm a little excited, I get short of breath. Vocalist is sort of your assistant for when you're wanting to be purely hands-free. So, yes, we do hands-free calls on Bluetooth headsets, but you know, never took away the things of text messaging or sending emails or tweets and things like that. So that was always something which Plantronics is now focused on. So what you can do, and it's quite interesting, is you'll press the button and say call Vocalist. Now it actually dials a number, so it's not a free call from your mobile, it's actually calling a service. And it says, you know, what would you like Vocalist to do? And you could say, you know, add a reminder. And then it says okay. Well, it doesn't say okay, you know, it tells you okay, start recording. And you might say, you know, need to pick up milk in the afternoon. And then say in the afternoon you're like, oh, what were my reminders? Push it again and say play reminders, and it will play you all your reminders that you've set, which is really cool. Other things you can do is you can tweet, you can Facebook, you can email voice notes. Now my problem with this is that you say, you know, send a tweet, and it says okay, recording, and you'll say, oh, I just picked up milk, it was so cheap today, and it tweets it out, but the tweet message that goes out is, I just said something, and then it gives a link. And if the person clicks on that link, it then plays them an audio of what you actually recorded. Now when I first tested this, I pretended to sound like a robot because I thought that it was going to do a voice-to-text translation. So I would say something, it would turn it into text, and that would be my tweet. You know, and I said, this is a test, and that's what they heard. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I think it should do voice-to-text, because most people aren't following Twitter that much. They want to hear someone's audio of their tweet. And same thing with Facebook statuses. No one really wants to hear your Facebook status through audio because we get it. We can read it and it's fine. So that's probably my biggest problem with Vocalist. That, and then it's not a free call, obviously, because you're using your mobile. The other thing as well to mention is that you can get an app for Vocalist, and you can't really see it because of the camera, obviously, but when you press the play my text button, and that service is now activated, so if I was to receive a text message and I had my, obviously, Bluetooth headset connected, I would hear an incoming text message read out to me, which is quite handy. The problem with it though is that it's an app, and it will work whether you have a Bluetooth headset connected or not. If you have it disconnected and you've left the service running and you receive a text message, it will read it out through the speakerphone. So if you are receiving messages from somebody like a loved one and they may say things which you don't want other people to hear, that could get embarrassing. So it's something to remember, is that if you've got the app installed, make sure you turn it off when you disconnect your Bluetooth headset, otherwise your boss may hear something which they didn't want to know about you and your partner. Otherwise, really, really good product. I think as a Bluetooth headset, it's premium. The sound quality, the battery life, the weight, it's really, really good. I think Vocalist is great. I think it just needs a bit of work. It just needs a bit of time to evolve. But you know, if in terms of no more texting while driving, no more anything, no more touching the phone while driving, this really is the most that I've ever seen out of any device. So really, really good. Can't complain. If you do have any questions about it, let me know. I'm happy to get in touch with people for you if you need to know answers, or hopefully I can answer them myself. Hit me up and we'll speak soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.